It is getting close to baby time, so today I'm going to prep the rolling cart I have here at my bedside. I'm also going to go through some of the postpartum supplies that I have in my bathroom to get ready for that whole postpartum period and take you along with me. So if you're ready for it, let's get going on this cart. Okay, so I want to go over what I just put in there and grabbed obviously a whole bunch more things. So in the top, because I not only am going to have a newborn, but I also I'm going to have an almost 2-year-old at the point that our baby will be born. I have a few things for both kids. So I have diapers in my son size as well as in a newborn size up here. I have lotion that's good to use on both the baby and my toddler. I have some Aquaphor, another little lotion, a mini Eucerin cream here. I have wipes, and then I put some pacifiers in here. That'll be really great to have in the middle of the night to have close by because I feel like they just always get lost. And then I put a few more random supplies in here that are really great for newborns. So I have the nose Frida. This is kind of in two parts. This is to suck the boogers out of baby's nose. I also use some saline spray when I use that. So I have that here. I have this helpful little comb for cradle cap. I also have this picker tool, which was one of my favorites with our son. It has a nose picker, an ear picker, a nail picker, and then like a multi-use tool, as well as an electric nail file. And all of these are honestly baby must-haves and things that I found myself doing when I was nursing our first son. So I'm thinking, because I'll be hanging out here in bed a lot, that I will do the same, and this will be a really handy spot to have all of this. I originally put it in our son's bathroom when he was born, and just we were going back and forth and back and forth. So I think this will be a much better spot to have it. And I also grabbed to stick in here a Haka because I hope to breastfeed, and this will be helpful to have handy if I want to collect some milk on the other side that I'm not feeding on. Stick that in there. And then previously I had in this cart some toys for our toddler. I think I'll probably still have some toys in here just in case it's me alone and I'm trying to keep him occupied while I have a baby and all of that. So I will figure out how I want to do this. I like having all these little things up higher because my older son can't reach it as much, and maybe things down lower are better for him to reach, or things that he can't mess up. So I'm also going to get some snacks together because breastfeeding makes me really hungry, and a lot of times I'm just still hanging out in bed nursing the baby and taking care of things and don't have a lot of time to go prepare myself breakfast, or maybe in the middle of the night I'm hungry, so I have some snacks. I also have burp cloths. Those are a must. I got these little changing pads last time. Very, very helpful. They are waterproof, and I lay them out on the bed to change the baby's diaper because a lot of times there can be explosions. Nice to have an extra layer there. I also grabbed an extra swaddle, and I'll probably save some room for maybe like a blanket and an extra pair of pajamas because if there's an accident in the middle of the night, I'm going to want to have those things to make a change really quickly. So let's get all of this stuff organized. Most of the stuff in my bathroom I already have pretty organized, but I want to walk you through all of it just in case you are pregnant and heading into this postpartum period so you can prepare yourself as well. I have all of this stuff in here for all of these fluctuating phases that I've been going through. And since I have so much space in my bathroom, I've just left it this way. So I have things that I'm not using right now and won't be using when I'm newly postpartum, like ovulation supplies and pregnancy tests. So I have 2 little containers here for those. Those I'm just going to leave as is. And then I have one for, I just call medical supplies, kind of fluctuates, but great for postpartum, having these Tux wipes. These ones are the medicated and cooling pads. I also have, just to be prepared, some hemorrhoid cream in here because after you give birth, especially if you have a vaginal delivery, hemorrhoids can be pretty common. So some medical supplies there. And then I have a smaller bin called Postpartum Care. This I have the Freedom Mom healing foam. This stuff is great. It's also similar to Dermoplast, which you might have in your hospital. You can also purchase that as well. I just liked the foam of this a lot. And then a Peri bottle, which is really helpful. This is also the Frida brand. I'm sure you've heard about it a lot. It is the upside down Peri bottle, so it can spray upwards towards you to clean. Again, you will probably get a Peri bottle in the hospital, but it won't be an upside down one. It'll just be a little bottle with a top that you can squeeze. So it's kind of hard to maneuver, and I would really recommend this Frida set, both the healing foam and the Peri bottle together. I also have up here just feminine products in the sense of tampons and pads and panty liners all the way up to diapers. So tampons you're not going to be using when you're newly postpartum and bleeding. You're going to want to use pads. The hospital will have diapers as well, or really big pads to give you. I prefer the diapers that I can purchase. So I have some left over. There are 2 different types that I like. 3 maybe. I have some left over that I have from my last pregnancy. And I think one of them is even a Freedom Mom one. And then these ones, which are left over, I also have some flushable wipes here. So that's my larger postpartum care. And I will refresh it with some diapers that I just got from Amazon. I haven't tried these ones personally yet, but I've heard great things about them. I think they were previously a different brand or a different name or different packaging or something, but this one has come highly recommended. So I have a large pack of these, and I honestly prefer just the adult diaper than the pad situation. It's just a whole lot easier. You can just toss them away. It's more comfortable, at least for me. But I do have in a feminine product thing here some pads for once the bleeding does get lighter, because then I don't want to be wearing the diapers anymore as the bleeding gets lighter, and then some panty liners for when it gets even lighter, just so I have that whole process that I can work through and don't have to worry about running out to the store and purchasing those things or dealing with running out of things while I'm in the bathroom. It is all here and ready to go for me. The last thing that I have in here, and you don't necessarily need to keep this in the bathroom, but I had space here and it just kind of worked out. But I keep my disposable nursing pads in here. I found sometimes I'd just be like getting ready in the morning, going to the bathroom, or getting ready for the nighttime. And these are the daytime ones and the nighttime ones. I typically use reusable ones that I can just wash in the washing machine, because at least with my last baby, I did have a lot of leaking when I would feed him. So I did need something to help absorb that milk as I was feeding throughout the day and throughout the night. But sometimes I was lazy and just wanted these reusable ones, or these disposable ones, excuse me. So I have these here and have a little label for nursing pads. But that's all the stuff I keep ready to go in the bathroom for me to make that postpartum period a little bit easier. Last but not least, here I have my large storage bin where I store all of my maternity clothing, but I also store postpartum things in here just because I don't have enough maternity stuff to fill this whole bin. So I am going to pull out this stuff to make it easier for my postpartum period, so it's all ready to go for me. A lot of it is going to be nursing bras and nursing supplies. So some of my favorites are actually from Target. They are more of a workout bra. I really, really enjoy those. I do have some from Kindred Bravely, which are very popular, but weren't my favorite. I think this is their older style, so their newer style might be better. These are the Target ones. I also have a couple of items that are specific to breastfeeding. They're breastfeeding friendly because they have little zippers and stuff to access what you need to access. So I can pull that clothing out. Let's see, I also have more like structured bras for nursing. I have those reusable nursing pads that I was talking about, so I'll get all of those out. I did last time use some underwear specifically for that beginning postpartum period because it's higher waisted and really felt like it kept things in. A lot of times people say that they feel better postpartum having something tight around their stomach. You might think it's the opposite if you've never gone through this. You might think you want to wear loose, baggy clothing, but sometimes it feels better to have that support. So the higher waisted postpartum underwear are kind of helpful. I also do have a belly binder or something that I can strap around my belly that does help feel like it's holding everything in. It made me feel like a little bit more confident being so newly postpartum, but I've heard that there are great benefits, both vaginal birth and C-section, to using something like this. I have my maternity nursing camis. These probably got the most use out of anything. These I would wear all the time and layer a shirt on. So especially if I was nursing out in public, I could lift my shirt up and just unclip the clasp on the cami and put my baby kind of under the top layer of shirt without feeling like I was exposing my whole stomach, lifting my shirt up to feed my baby. And around the house, it's a lot easier. So I wore those all the time. And then the last thing that I used pretty often was these heatable and freezable gel packs. Looks like I have 2 sets of them. Because I use them so often, and I wanted one to be in the freezer ready for me depending on what situation I was going through with breastfeeding, if I was going through some engorgement or wanted to encourage the milk. So I'm going to put all of this stuff away and make a little bit of space in my dresser, move around some of my current bras and tank tops and stuff, and make a good spot for this, because this stuff, especially nursing stuff, I will probably be using for a full year. That's what I did with my first son, is I nursed him for a year. So this stuff was out and needed a home, and a permanent home, for at least a year. So I am going to get all this put away. I can put this empty, almost empty, bin away. And then once I have the baby, I can pack up all of my maternity clothing. And that is pretty much it for what I'm doing in my bedroom to prep and in this space. If you have any other ideas of things that you are doing or have done in your room, I would love to hear them. Of course, there's plenty of other things that I need to do around the house to prep for baby. I have some little diaper caddies that I like to have around the house to make changes easier. The last thing I need to do in here is to bring up the bassinet. That I'm going to ask my husband to help with. But again, I really appreciate you being here with me on this motherhood journey, as together we make it sophisticated.